Hey everyone, this is my first live on YouTube actually, and I actually run a couple of lives on Facebook, which is under the page Dancing Nomads, because that's a little side hustle I'm running, app for dancers to find other dancers to practice with, to find each other, to perform with each other. That's the app that I'm making, but for today, for this channel, this is actually my first live on YouTube, and I'm starting it in order to help people who want to be more technical, or they're thinking of coding, or they're not sure if they should continue it. And it's kind of there's going to be a series of videos. I'm thinking of doing something for beginners and for seasoned programmers. So stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't already, though it's too early to say that because you have no idea what you're subscribing to. But so I'm just going to go through a little bit of story of how I actually fell into becoming a programmer. And it's actually interesting because I'm going to take off my glasses because I look like a gigantic nerd, which I am. But anyways, the story spans I'm 27 now, and it goes all the way back since I was 18, because although you may hear in stories, there are kids that are starting programming when they're in their early pubescent teens. Can I say that right? Pubescent. Yeah, you can tell that I was in ESL. But anyways, you hear that there are kids starting to learn a program when they're 13 or when they're 5 or something, and that you need to start young in order to be really good. That's all a big lie, because I started when I was 18, and at that point I felt like I was super old, and because I had a friend who got me into it. His name is Randy, and the thing is, he started programming when he was 13. So he was one of those really young kids who started learning to program when he was really young, like 13. When I was 13, I was still watching Dragon Ball Z. But anyways, I started programming by learning Python, and it was literally, I finished one semester in university, and it was my second semester, and I needed to in our school, we need to have science credit. So there's a social science credit, and there's a science credit, and there was some other type of credit that you needed. But I was really working on my science, and I didn't want to take a chemistry course. I didn't want to take a physics course. I had enough of that in high school. So I took a computer science course, because back in my high school, we didn't have computer science courses. So it seemed interesting. I took it. But at that point, my mind was I was going to business school. Half my degree is in business, and the other half is computer science, turns out, weirdly. So I have a joint major. But anyways, I was so focused on getting business because I was born and raised in a very low income family. So money was hard to come by. And so because of that, my mindset was focused on, okay, I have to make money. When I grow up, I don't want to live the same lifestyle that I have right now, where I don't have a lot of money. So, and also my mom always really focused on saving, save your money, Donald. So that was the kind of mindset I was raised with, which, if you're listening to this, do not save your money. Don't tell your parents. They're going to be like, don't listen to this guy. But yeah, don't save your money. Rather, invest your money. You can invest your money in something like stocks, mutual funds, or 401k. That's all great. But where your money should really go when you're really young and you don't have a family and you're single, like I am, is you should invest it in yourself. Because the more skills you have, then the more opportunities, the more people will see you as someone with valuable knowledge that they can leverage. And that is what is going to make the big money. But going back to the story, back then, so I left off I took a computer science course on my second semester, and I walked into that computer science course. Now, get this. When I walked in through those doors, I knew nothing about programming. Literally, it was just that first lecture was just the teacher going through his slides, giving us an introduction of the syllabus, what he's going to teach, what you should know and what you shouldn't know. I knew nothing. I didn't know a single line of code. I didn't know syntax. I didn't know any of that. So it was a pretty interesting semester. What you have to do is you have to take it really freaking seriously. And by freaking seriously, I mean like I went to class, every single class. It was actually one of the classes that I actually went to because it was not boring. I'm actually learning something new that interests me, because you type out code and then you run it and it pops out in this UI, and that actually is really exciting when you can like write this little bit of code, run it, even if it's simple like 2 + 2, it shows up on the screen. That's actually very exciting and very interactive, and that's kind of one of the things that really got me hooked into programming. But like I said, I was totally focused on business school and making the big money when I graduated. And my idea was getting into becoming a stockbroker, because it seems like at that point, with all the movies like Wolf on Wall Street and everything, they seem to be like the people with all the lifestyle. But that's only what you get from movies. It's actually not a very good lifestyle. Becoming a programmer is a great lifestyle. Just let me tell you that. That's why I'm programming. But anyways, I just want to get to the point that it's a very programming and having that technical knowledge is very valuable, especially as we move on to the future, because I can't see us going backwards from technology. We're seem to be all in with technology. So as we keep going forward, there's going to be a bigger demand for programmers, and that's or someone that's technical, or someone that knows how to talk to technical people, which is incredibly important in and of itself. I will talk more about we kind of talked about what I wanted. So I was really motivated at that point by graduating and becoming a stockbroker, going into financial industry, and just making big bucks. And doing that computer science course was really just a means of getting my science credits. That's my external motivation. It was just getting those science credits. Internally, I didn't really feel anything about it. I was just like, inside, I felt like, this is kind of cool. Maybe I can have this little, I could put this on my resume. I could put that I know how to code, in addition to I know Excel, which I really don't. I freaking hate Excel. But I could put that in my resume, and that'll raise my status of how people see me. They'll be like, hey, that guy knows how to code. But anyways, that's pretty much all I want to talk about today. So if you are learning to code, if you're in a computer science class and you're going crazy wondering whether you should stick with it for a little bit more. If you are like dreaming of code, waking up and like it's affecting your health, then maybe you should stick with it a little bit more. Actually, like, really look at what you're doing. If I know plenty of students who have taken their first computer science courses, and actually, one of my dance coach's daughter is doing that. But she's taking a computer science course for the first time. They're dreaming about code, and it's affecting their health. But instead of actually studying it and trying to figure it out, what they did is they procrastinated. They ended up sitting on the couch and watching TV. And what the hell is doing that going to do for you for your computer science class? So you're really just, in that case, you're wasting time that you can really use in order to learn a skill that can be really beneficial for you in the future. And it will be beneficial for you in the future. Believe me, it will. But anyways, I'm going to end things here. It's been a long video. Again, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because there's going to be some cool stuff coming through. Believe me. And if you're a dancer, www.dancingnomads.com. Join us. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.